Hello, hello, hello. I'm making a video. I'm using the daylight because it's nicer. And there's my artwork. A beautiful, beautiful Spaceship 3. Alien Spaceship 3 with two astronauts in the upper blue room there that's up there. Yeah, two astronauts that are in love with each other. So, I just watched a Sam Vaknin video and I disagree with everything he said in the video. So, I don't agree with everything, obviously, but I agree with some things. Some things are absolutely true, and he is a very sharp observer of psychologically very sharp observer, obviously. Okay, but he is, I don't know what the problem is, why he is on the side of the pharmaceutical industry. So that's very corporate. Okay, I don't know why the computer is delayed right now. Seems like sound and video is not in synchronicity. I don't know what's going on. So, too many spy programs in my computer, that's for sure. So, I finished my artwork, one of my artworks that is on the table. I started another one. I'm going to hang that up today, but I wanted to first use the daylight to make the video with. And to hang out with you for an hour or so and have a good time. You know? Think about some psychology, internal inspection, insights, and understanding more about the mind, how the mind works, and learning to understand that we don't have to be afraid of that. It's nice, it's fantastic to learn more about the mind. That's not scary or anything. The more we learn about ourselves, the better our lives will become. And it's important. Sam Vaknin talks about these internal narratives that we have. I call them self-identifications, same thing. People identify themselves with religion or nation or sports teams because they feel like because they have cut themselves off from who they actually are. So then they want to identify themselves with whatever they see outside of themselves, that they feel like that could give them some kind of support or comfort or ego identification comfort. So a lot of people, that's why I hear a lot of people say they go with the strong horse, or we go with the strong horse. That's self-identification with a group, okay, that they have declared the strong horse or the winner. So one can see this very, very clearly whenever people have some kind of, they have sports teams going against each other, and one team wins, then the ones that identify themselves with that sports team, they feel like partying and happy all night long because their entire identity is tied up to that sports team. And I find it so very important that people start to look at that with an open mind. They look at that, to look at that and really see it for what it is. It's an identification. It's a narrative of self, of ego, and it's the same as religion. Okay, there's no difference. It's the same as nationality. Whatever group people adhere to, and they think they're a winner or something. And also the idea about winning and losing and good and evil. Also, that's a real big one. That's a big subject. Friedrich Nietzsche and Jiddu Krishnamurti, my two main philosophers, they question that. They question the idea of good and evil, because what is good and evil for one person could be completely reversed for another person. And if we look at it from the sky perspective, does that still hold up as good or evil? So, what is good? What is evil? Good, obviously, something that feels good, So, evil, that's a word I don't even use. I only use this now in the context of other people using that word. So, in order to clarify something, I talk about the word evil. I don't use the word evil to talk about something I don't like. So I don't use it for that. If there's something I don't like in the world, then I will call it adverse, or it doesn't work, dysfunctional, doesn't function, or destructive, damaging, whatever you can call it, right? But the word evil, okay, I already mentioned that a few times in the chat room. Where does that word evil come from? Look at it closer. I don't know. I haven't looked this up on Wikipedia. I looked some of those up. I looked Satan up many years ago on Wikipedia, or on what's that other one, the Thesaurus or whatever, the etymological dictionary. So I looked them up. I looked those words up there. I wanted to know where did it start. What are the origins of the word Satan, for example, or evil, or any word. And you'd be very surprised that sometimes those words go way back to even older languages, or an old Hebrew, or old Latin, or Greek. So Satan comes from, it's a very old word that comes from Hebrew, right, out there, Jordan, Middle East, okay, long time ago, okay, and that word means the accuser. Okay. People never liked someone who accuses someone else. It doesn't feel good to the ego, obviously. And sometimes an accusation is based on truth, and based on saying, hey, this doesn't work. I'm accusing you. I'm finding fault. I'm pointing something out. So most people don't want to hear. But then, we can also be stuck in an accusation loop, and that's not beneficial. But people never liked that, so they demonize it. They put it into the demon drawer, okay, and close the file and said, this is no good. This is Satan. This is the devil. So no, devil. The word devil and the word evil those two words are very related. Okay, very very closely related. D is means D or D comes from Old Latin and means from, taken from, pertaining to, or moved away from something to something else. D, take something out. D, like, kind of also related to DI, die, means dissect, put into two. So I take one part from the other, I take something from the other, or something is derived also again from the other. Okay, so you see the word relations there. D, okay, so then evil, D, evil, devil. Okay, so now let's dissect the word evil. So devil, like, take something, takes something taken away, something that's derived from evil. Okay, so what is evil? Where does that word come from? Evil. Okay, let's dissect it again. So E means taking something out of something. Ex, from Old Latin, taking something out of something else. Also derived out of something. Okay, or split away from something. Ex, split away from something. Split away from my ex, so. And then we have the word, once we dissect that, and we have D, we have X, okay, separated from the rest. Then what's left is will. Here's the word village suddenly. I don't know if that is actually, I don't know if someone has ever introspected into this, but to me this is very obvious what's happening here with the etymology, with the origin of those words, of the meaning of those words, the original beginnings of words. So vil, VIL, village. Also interesting, the word villain. So why is or common or mean? That's another thing to discuss. So something that is mean, something that's average, like mean in statistics. The mean is the main graph. Okay, so the mean is the norm or something. The norm is kind of mean. Why does the norm have to be so mean? Right? That's another thing we need to introspect into. Why are most people mean? And villain, the village, whatever, dude, the regular or anyone who's in the village or on the marketplace is very mean. You can see that in the Zarathustra. He's pointing that out very clearly. The Zarathustra is going to the marketplace where the average people hang out. And here he's being treated in a very mean way because he is the accuser. He is the Satan. The Zarathustra is basically regarded as the Satan. They want to kill him. What saved him in the last moment was that he was sitting with the acrobat who fell off the rope. And he was sitting with him for hours as the acrobat was dying. So then some people had the last spark of compassion and they saw, oh yeah, I guess he's sitting with that clown, that acrobat that hasn't made it, Nobody cared about him. The Zarathustra was the only one who cared about the acrobat. And the acrobat grabbed his hand, and because the Zarathustra said to him, your life was not a failure, at least you dared to do something out of the ordinary. You dared to stand out, do something, be courageous with something. You walked over on that rope. You fell, but yeah, at least you dared to do something. And that made that rope dancer feel good, and then he passed away in the arms of the Zarathustra. So that's basically the beginning of that fairy tale. And then the Zarathustra carries his corpse way out there into the woods, away from civilization, away from the average mean person, out there where the animals live, where the wolves live, and so on. I highly recommend to everyone to read this book. This is a highly philosophical book. This is an absolute classic for everyone to read. The basic elements of philosophy and psychology are in this fairy tale. If people read it with an open mind, and read it carefully, and not run off into whatever, some kind of judgment or memories or whatever, but stay with that story and take it in. So I wished anyone would read the Zarathustra, because then we can actually have an interesting conversation about this in the chat rooms. It would be really nice. It would enrich your life so dramatically. You have no idea. I mean, it would really widen your horizon, and you would start looking at existence more from the sky perspective instead of from your personal narrative, from what you have been told, from how you have been indoctrinated. So you can get your mind out of that for a moment and look at it more from an unbiased point of view, from the sky perspective. See the whole picture from above, the big picture. So what this word devil, or the word evil, where this actually comes from, is someone exits themselves out of the village. I leave the village. I leave the marketplace. The Zarathustra leaves the marketplace. He leaves the village behind. He exits himself out of that village. What does the village think? They call him the X. They call him evil. Okay, the one who has exited the village. Evil. X-E-X, out of the village. He has left the village, so they call him evil. That's where the word comes from, okay? The one who leaves community is regarded as evil. This has been going on for I don't know how many thousands of years. This is not just something that has been indoctrinated into us. That too, of course, hugely. But this goes deeper than just indoctrination. This goes, oh my God. This is like Carl Jung would attribute an archetype to this, I think. And I wonder if he did, actually. This is archetypical, this is primordial. This is very, very old, almost, not just almost, this goes into biology. You can watch animal herds. Jill Krishnamurti and David talked about this for over 50 years, that the human is a herd animal. Okay, they feel safer in herds, so they adapt their opinion to the opinion of others to feel safer, right? That's where the problem comes in, because we're no longer based on just sounds. We make sounds too, right? But now we're also making very distinct sounds. We have very distinct words, okay, that we use. We have developed a language, and we have developed this cognitive thinking together with the whales have an even more developed and complex language. Just wanted to mention this on the side, because a lot of people will run off and say the human is somehow apex, whatever, on top, the most intellectual. No, and absolutely not. The whales are more intellectual and more cognitive and more abstract. But very few people dare to talk about this. Very, very few people. Dr. Lely was talking about this. He did research on dolphins. Very horrible research also, but he came out with it. It's not, it doesn't justify his research. It's cruel and it should be absolutely banned, that type of research, what he has done, keeping dolphins in captivity. So I only say but in terms of what came out of it. So what came out of it is that he did realize that they are every bit as cognitive as we are, the dolphins are, and probably more so. And the very large whales are way more cognitive than we are. Okay. They will adopt a dolphin like we adopt a dog. So the dolphin is on our level cognitively. So they would adopt us like an animal. The really large whales, if we were in the ocean, okay, but we're not. So, and the very large whales have rescued humans, but the humans were not willing to acknowledge the enormous cognitive power that came out of those whales. But in the future, they will catch on eventually, because they can't be ignoring this indefinitely. So at some point they will acknowledge it. The future generations will, for sure. So, but yeah, but this is where these words come from. EX, out of the village. Evil. You left the village, you're evil. You are the X of the village. The evil doer. So they labeled them in a demonizing way. You left us, how dare you leave? How dare you stand on your own? Okay. So not just physically left, but a witch, okay, in the Middle Ages. Evil, outside of the village. She left the village because she fucking had it up to here with that village. Right? She's from the future. She is highly intellectual. She sees the BS, and she says, I want nothing to do with those idiots. They're like Stone Age. What good does it do for me to stay in this society that will demonize me for being myself, right? So she leaves. And what does the village do? What do the villagers do? The actual villains, what do? They call her evil. They call her a witch. So I don't know where the word witch actually comes from. So that would be interesting to dive deeper into that word. into the word origin of which. To me, that word doesn't have a negative connotation. That word holds empowerment. Absolutely clear. I'm a green witch. I would never use the occult on someone else to gain some kind of whatever, gain someone's love or gain access to someone's house or whatever, gain money or whatever. I would never do it for that purpose. Helena Petrovna said that very clearly in her book, in all of her books, The Secret Doctrine, several volumes. She said, do not use the occult for selfish purposes, ever. Never do a love spell on someone. Okay? You didn't ask the other person. Okay? You didn't ask me if it's okay to spy on my computer. You didn't ask me if it's okay to astral journey into my daily existence, into my body, observing my body on the inside or the outside, in order to humiliate me with it. So people have done that, believe it or not. Some people say you're just totally delusional. No. There are people on the internet that have said things to me that nobody else could possibly know other than me. So they couldn't see this on the spy programs either. So yeah, it is what it is. I have to accept that there's obviously a whole world of the occult going on, and a lot of people that are on that bandwagon that are eagerly trying to learn about it. The Freemasons, 100%. So they view that as their ticket to power over others. The devil worship, many devil worship groups, cults, and so on, use that to gain some insights over what spying, in every way they can on someone else. So what good comes out of it for someone? I hope something good comes out if you listen to the Jiddu Krishnamurti videos that I'm running a lot, which are being then recorded by your spy program. So I hope you listen to that. I hope you listen to something I say. I hope you understand that the inwardness process is vitally important when you listen to me cry for 2 days straight. I know you felt some glimpses of compassion, and you know what? I love you infinitely much for that. I do. I already love you infinitely much. I love you unconditionally. I say this without a sexual connotation. I love you as the mother of all living beings. Okay? And that's the truth. When I'm angry in that moment, I'm angry. Okay? And that's okay. You don't have to feel threatened by this. You get angry too, right? So you're angry at me, I'm angry at you. This happens. Let's feel it. Let's not suppress that. Okay? Suppressing that? Okay, that's also what I realize when I tell people, don't act it out on others. Then you start suppressing it, and then it comes hissing out like a geyser. So, because it does want to come up. It's so powerful, so you have such hatred for me sometimes. Okay? And I know why. Because I am your accuser. I'm your truther. I am your green witch. I see you. I see your BS. Huh? The ego doesn't want that. No, no, no. That is not good. You're busted, baby. You know, and you know how you feel when you're being busted. Shit, darn. Huh? That didn't work. I couldn't deceive her. Huh? I see things. I see a lot of stuff. I pay attention. I'm often very confused because there's so much going on, and I'm like, yeah, I am. But I see all of these things that are going on the internet. I see these irregularities in behavior. I see the lies popping up here and there. And when I bust you, I say, I saw the lie. I see the incongruencies happening. Okay. Then you feel like, she's psychoanalyzing me. How dare she do that? So no, I see all of this, and it is good. It's good that I see this because I need to bring this out to the surface. And we need to talk about it. And there's no shame or pride or anything. Forget shame and pride altogether. But I don't want to suppress your anger. Your anger is there in that moment. Just don't act it out. Okay? Don't act it out on me or anyone else. Don't act it out on another living being. Okay? That's all I'm asking, basically. Because I am a living being. Okay? I have feelings, and I'm not a god. Okay, it hurts very much. Okay, I feel very bullied often, and hurts very, very much. And then the anger comes out because I don't really. The ego never wants. I have ego, of course I do. The ego doesn't want to feel this sadness, right? The ego thinks it feels better to be like, I don't care. What a motherfucker, Then the F bombs come, and then whatever. I'll talk about the robots, and I'll get into angry rants, or I let him lure me into his negativity, because he's in that permanently, nonstop. Okay? So, which is sad. It's very sad. So he's not my role model on that. Trust me. And that's a stuck mind state that he's in. Okay. So, but I already know that, but my ego likes to be lured into this, and then we can do this commiseration mind state, angry ranting, and talking. We can talk for 10 hours about how bad anyone is, or how bad anyone acts out. The problem is it doesn't make the world a better place. It doesn't help the persons who act out in a bad way. I have a lot of thoughts going through my mind right now. There's a lot of associations going on right now. I have a lot of insights also. The 2 days of crying gave me a lot of insights into things. I realized again and again and again, bottom up, direct insight, realization that acting out anger is not going anywhere. For me, or for the world, or anyone. acting it out is, I was almost, I gotta be really honest with you, I was almost gonna do trolling. Okay, I've been in that mental state already several times where I was almost gonna do some trolling and create a fake account, and I was gonna use it to point the mirror at people and have some fun while I'm doing it. But then I'll be doing the same thing that the trolls do. I mean, there are good trolls and bad trolls, right? So there's a good troll out there. His name is Tamwar Timmy. Okay, he is a smart cookie. That guy from England. Okay, I love you, Tamwar Timmy. Okay, I love you. You are amazing. If I was in England, I would want to meet you. I would want to hang out with you. I would probably fall in love with you. You know? So, but I'm not going to England. I'm not going to India. I'm not going to any other place. I'm staying here. Okay, the world is in a huge trouble right now. Okay, the whole world. So very dangerous, has become very dangerous. And making videos, bringing these things to the surface, talking about it, is an attempt to help make the world a better place. Because we need to become conscious about this. The moment you become conscious, you're not going to do a jihad anymore. The moment you become conscious about yourself and you're acting out, and how incredibly unbeneficial that is for you and the world. When you see the whole picture of it, you cannot be acting it out anymore. You cannot be on board with a hate group or, a hate group religion, a violent religion like that. There's no way. We need to question all religion. Religion is dualism that drives people apart, causes war. The weapon manufacturers, they want that because they make money on it. Okay? It doesn't make the world a better place, though. Okay, that's a fact. So it's very, very important to become consciously aware about all of this. Very, very important. That is the foundation of sanity and making the world a better place. I'm mentally ill. That doesn't mean I'm insane. That's two different things altogether. Mental illness can be anything from depression. You have paranoia. Often the paranoia is based on reality. Okay, but it's still paranoia. The paranoid rich person, as they always say, is the safe rich person right there. The paranoia is obviously based on reality. So some paranoia is not based on reality. Okay? Some people are schizoid. Okay, I'm not schizoid. My paranoia is based on reality, but one can also become overly cautious. One can put themselves into a complete prison. Teal Swan talks about this. We hide in a corner because we're so scared of what has happened to us or what is going on in the world. I hide here in this situation. I'm scared like chicken. I don't want to come out. I don't want to leave this situation. I wanted to really bad. I know that I can do more if I left here and went out there and dared to go out there as the green witch that I am, as the energy healer that I am. I can go out there. When I approach people, strangers, without Paul, I make a connection with people, with almost anyone. Some people avoid me, and I let them go because I know they're afraid, so I'm not gonna force them or anything. They're afraid. There's a reason for it. They have been traumatized. They think I'm evil or devil or whatever. Because I'm different. Okay. Evil, remember. Outside of the village. I'm not I'm not dressed like a Christian. The Christians have a very specific dress code. If you don't fit into this, right there, evil, out of the village, out of their community. This sweater here is probably not accepted by the Christian community or by any community. Probably, I don't know. For a long time I didn't even want to wear camo. I like camo because multiple colors, which I love. I kind of destigmatized it for myself. I can be an animal rights person who rescues the deer in the forest and wear camo. Okay, I can be a bird watcher and wear camo. So I have to take the stigmatization out of it, the association out of the camo pattern. So that's what Jonathan Niese is trying to do, the artist. He's trying to take the stigmatization out of the swastika. The swastika is much older than Nazis. The swastika even exists among the native Aborigines in Australia. That is a very ancient symbol that people have, that cave people have used already. Like, I don't know, 100,000 years ago. First modern humans had this. And that symbol represents 4 directions. North, east, south, west. It also represents this, it has this hook. It also represents endlessness. And it represents the hook as in claws. So the Aborigines, they talk about this. The native, the energy healers, the ones that have carried on the wisdom from their elders, and they have this symbol, and it represents being in resistance to that what is, and it's a claw kind of mental state. Someone is angry and claws onto their narrative or their self-identification. And when people are in resistance, they're not going with the flow of life. And be very careful who uses this terminology. There are news people now that are jumping on board with the new age, whatever, guru-esque type of language, and they have used this terminology also. They often don't know what they're talking about. And then the corporate agenda will use that to mislead people. And they'll say, the news person will say, he goes with the flow of society or whatever. That sounds very advanced, right? They mean to make this sound advanced. That's not. Be very careful about this. No, He's going with the bandwagon of the corporate agenda, what the corporate agenda wants the public to believe. He's going with society who is not in the flow of life. Okay. He wants to go with society's popular, whatever is popular at the moment. So, red flag right there. Use that terminology in the sense that that is really representative to the truth. Okay? Being in the flow of life means I question society, I question violent religions, I question popularity, question anything that anyone has ever said to you. Okay. Very important. The sun is coming over now. Reflecting on that glass cabinet shining right into my eye. And it's nice because those are sunbeams of love, okay, that permeate everything, every material. And the blue God is in every material. And the sunbeams of love are the sunbeams of the blue God. So, yeah, if you meditate and if you quiet your mind, then you see everything from the sky perspective, and you can reflect on all of this. And you don't have to be on board with what society is drilling into you. Okay, then you can question all of this, and you can dare to stand on your own in your society. If more and more people will do this, the more and more and more connection we have to each other. Real connection. I know you have glimpses of compassion. I have seen this already. I not only believe it, I know it. I know the blue God is there. I don't only believe it. I see all of that. It's there. I know it's there. I know that you are precious and you have love in you. And I want you to know that too. Okay? And if you go into meditation, you will see it. Okay? You will see your compassion for me, for anyone. Okay? In that moment, the anger falls away. You see that I am not bullying you. I'm not being your whatever jester who busts you or whatever. I am that, and I'm much more. I'm a living being like you. Okay? We're on eye level. You are not above me, and I am not above you. Okay? It's very important to understand that we are all on eye level. That this hierarchy falls away. It has no validity whatsoever. Very important. Very, very important. When you see someone, then you can love that person. I'm not giving this a sexual connotation. People always run off with it in a sexual connotation. Don't do that. Love is universal. Okay? Love as in friends, as in buddies. Okay? I love you, I care about you. I love all beings. And you can too, if you quiet your mind. And if you do that in meditation every single day, you turn the media off, turn the devices off. Also, turn all of your devices off when you go to sleep, before dinner even. Turn it all off. No more device, no more beeping sounds. That's hell for you. Okay. No more spying after 10 p.m. Do it for yourself. You don't need to spy on Nikki Daisy, who she's talking to. She's talking to a man from Gambia. Oh my gosh. We need to inspect, we need to monitor her. Is she flirting with him? Are they doing a silly sex position? No, they're not. He likes to think about that. He has that on his photo. It's all cool. If he's nice to me, I talk to him as a friend. He doesn't have to be automatically a boyfriend. Who knows what happens in the future? I'm not going to think about this now. I give everyone a chance of friendship. Okay? I talk to them. I find out. I learn more about you. We might fall in love, we might not. Okay? But let's be friends first. Let's be friends for a long time. That's good. Friendship is good. Friend zone. Scary. No, it's not. It's good. It's good to friend zone each other. You're in my friend zone. It's good. I love you. I care about you. That doesn't mean I automatically dismiss you off my bed. I shove you off the edge of my bed. No, I don't. We can sit on my bed as friends. Yeah, just as friends. And it's good. I can give you foot massage. It doesn't have to be sexual, I'm here, I'm the mother of all beings, I'm your mom, I'm your big mama. Okay? I could be your granny. Whatever you want. And be your auntie. It sounds a bit like an insult. It has been used as such by Muslim men, but it's okay. I got pissed about this for a while. I'm not pissed about it anymore. It's okay. If that's what they want to call me. Granny, auntie, grandmother, big mama, trailer mama, whatever. Cleaning personnel lady, toilet cleaner lady, whatever they want to call me. Trailer trash, it doesn't matter, I love you. We can be friends, okay? And then who knows what happens later on. It's not that important. Don't think always thinking in this self-centric way of you what if you go up to a girl and she puts you in the friend zone, and then you feel rejected. No, you're not rejected. She likes you as a friend, so maybe give her a chance. Something comes out of it later on. Don't immediately block her. Yeah, you arrogant bitch. I've seen all of this. People acting like this to me. If I don't respond in 2 hours, you arrogant bitch, I want nothing to do with you. It's a mistake, right? No, let's talk for a while. You have no patience or something? Talk for a while. It's good to be friends, okay? So, peace and bliss.